Good morning. Well, today we're out here, we're going to shoot a little video for our OKO gathering for 2020. Due to this pandemic, we weren't able to get together in person or live. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and shoot a little video of a few of us instructors passing on some information. So Mr. Tim asked me to give you a little info, so I'm going to do my best here today. I guess one thing that this pandemic will bring out in us is the understanding that, you know, we can't rely on training partners and our dojo and different situations like that in order to get our work done. We got to learn to train, learn the way alone. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to focus on some drills, some skills that you can learn and develop to practice on your own. You know, go through some knife and some stick stuff, and then actually work you through some sets, and then move on into some different material you can work on your own. Maybe, you know, help you to learn how to build a kata for yourself, things like that. So we're going to get after it right now. So for starters, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about a zone methodology that we use. Everybody uses zones. I mean, it's real common. It's attack zones. The zones of attack and defense on the body. So the way we break it down, we break it down into 7 zones. Okay. Normally you're going to see across his shoulder up here, top right, zone 1. Top left, zone 2. Okay, from your shoulders to your waist is zone 3, zone 4. Okay, zone 5 is anything down the center line. Everything running along, no matter what attack you do, no matter where it is, on the center line is number 5. Number 6 is low right, number 7 is low left. Okay, so to correspond with those zones, you know, you can attack them with anything. It doesn't matter how you attack them. You just need to understand that you can attack those areas. Those are the zones you attack, and those are the zones that you have to defend. Okay, so from where I'm sitting at right now, I'd be defending a zone 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, anything on the 5 line, a 6, 7, things like that. So we just have to understand how to break it down on how we're going to defend things. So for the stick today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into zones with some strikes. Okay, Grandmaster Jason, great Grandmaster Jason, a lot of times we'll go out and break down the first basic 5 strikes, which you see in many systems, including the one that I like to teach. And we're going to break it down for the 5 founders. This is a Kajukenbo video, so we're going to break it down that way. So we're not going to put them in any special order or give a strike to an individual founder, but all 5 of them get all 5 of these. Okay, so our number 1 is a diagonal where we would come down feeding to zone 1. Okay, now it could be a controlled strike, could be a follow-through strike, could be hit and retract. Okay, number 2 is going to be the same. Controlled, follow-through, or hit and retract. Okay, zone 3 is the same. Coming through either controlled, follow-through, hit and retract. Okay, 4, controlled, follow-through, hit and retract. Okay, in zone number 5, we're going to come down over the top. These are going to be strikes, not going to be thrust or slashings yet. Okay, so down the 5 center lines, just right over the top. We can feed over in a controlled form, we can follow through, and we can hit and retract. Okay, so that's going to be the first 5. Now, in order to break these down, I kind of like to add the thrust in for number 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a 5-angle drill, which is very, very common. 1 for each founder, and it goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to add the thrust. Okay? We're probably just going to do just the thrust for this little video series. Now what I want you to do is I want you to be able to have an ability to work that on both sides. So starting with the right lead forward, we're just going to come through the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, and the number 5. And then we come up, switch our feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back up. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to give you a drill for the sake of thinking of it as zones. Zone 1 is zone 1, zone 2 is zone 2, and so on, regardless of whether I'm striking with a forehand or a backhand. Okay, right now I'm striking a forehand into 1, here I'm striking a backhand into 1. Either way I'm going to zone 1. So now a way that you can work this drill back and forth to get a little bit of flow and staying on the zones with your right and left hand, you just got to do a switch. So a very good time to switch is usually when you're returning your strike. It's easy to get the hand on it. When I'm coming up, it's easy to switch. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thrust, and as we come back up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thrust, come back up. Alternate to the right hand. As you're coming up, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thrust as you're coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thrust as you're coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thrust as you're coming up. Continue to make that motion. You just get a nice flow with it. And so on. Okay, so that's a pretty good way of getting your strikes in there. So now the way these strikes work against the zones, again, normally strikes that we do are not target specific. I can throw a diagonal shot. If you watch some of our other videos, see us working our diagonals, horizontals, or up and downs, that kind of thing. Doesn't matter where I'm hitting with those. For the sake of this little demonstration today in the class, we're going to go ahead and apply these strikes to the zone they're going to go to. So strike number 1 is going to be going to zone number 1. Number 2 is going to zone 2. 3 to zone 3. 4 to zone 4. 5 to zone 5 overhead or thrust. And now if I was going backhand with it, it would be the same. Backhand to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I would switch off. And so on with that. And so that's just some basic ways you can work on drilling your strikes against the target. Beat on Bob, beat on something you can use to, grade you, get some feedback, give you some feedback on your strikes, where your accuracy is, where you're hitting your target, how you're hitting your target, that type of thing. You can learn on whether you're picking your power up, your accuracy's on, all that's got to be there. Okay, so those are some simple things you can do with the stick. We're going to move on to the blade. Now that same premise, again, we're going to stick to the first 5. I'm not going to worry about zones 6 and 7, but we will cover the slashes because they make sense, and they're going to be important when we start talking about thrustings. Alright, so with the blade, it's the same thing. I got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 in regards to slashing. Okay, if I was going to thrust now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now it's kind of important to add 6 and 7 in here because on our return slashes it matters. There would be the 6 and the 7. Alright? So we just work the 1, 3, 4, 5. Now you can work this static as well. Just put your lead out there. Just work through your attacks. And again, you can switch up. Now when we start doing some thrusting in here, if I want to work the thrust, I can do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so remember that you want to have this thing in a position to where it's ready to fire back out. I don't want to be throwing this thing around. I want to be indexed around to where I can find my shots. Okay, this thing needs to be in and out and back in a position where you can fire it again, not lollygagging out here and nowhere in Never Land where it doesn't need to be. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put together the slash and the stab. Alright, so if I do a number 1 slash, I could return a number 6 thrust, or the angle, repeating it. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about the angles. I come down with the 1, repeat a thrust. 2, feed a thrust. 3, feed a thrust. 4, feed a thrust. And now 5, the slash and the thrust come together because it's the same thing. 5 slash, 5 thrust. Okay, so we just come forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, kind of work that back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so work that same thing if you're doing the reverse grip. I come in from a 1 slash, return a cut, slash, return a cut, slash, return, slash, return. This time it's very hard to do this one. You can practice that. It ends up being more of a 1. So I like to think about, if I'm doing reverse grip, reverse the motion, up and stab. Okay, so I can come with the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Or I can come with the 1 with a thrust, the 2 with a thrust, 3, 4, 5. Okay, make sure you work all these on both hands. Again, on Bob, this could be the slash. Across the neck could be anywhere. Return the slash, return the slash, return the slash, return the slash, return the slash. Okay, cut, stick, cut, stick, cut, stick, cut, stick, cut, and stick. All right. If you're going reverse grip, cut, stick, cut, stick, cut, stick, cut, stick. All right. Try and work on through those motions. Figure them out. This is the time for you to go ahead and play on your own anyway. You're doing solo training. Take the stuff that you know and work it. Maybe you want to sit and kind of work on just this. Maybe you just want to work on the X. Maybe you just want to work the X. Come in and get a cut. Insert a hand. Remember the live hand. This hand has got to be the brother and sister. They got to work together, okay? I'm slashing. You can just sit there and insert one on the half beat there. Insert each motion. Insert after every other one. Okay, do the same thing here. Insert after every other one. Coming up. Having a good time with that stuff. Clip across. And then you want to sit and start thinking about breaking the patterns. Maybe I come with a 1 slash, 4 return, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Come with a 1, come with a 3, and a stab. Come with a 2, come with a 4, and a stab. Just start playing with that stuff. Get creative with it, If I sat there, maybe I come with a 5. Stab, stab. If I cut down, stab up. Reverse grip. Work drawing skills. Just get creative with this thing and have a lot of fun, because this is where you play. Get your stick and your dagger. Come with a 1. Thrust. 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 Start working with spotty dogger. This is limitless stuff you can find. But you got to be a little bit creative. You got to get out there. Especially if you've been training for a little while. Don't wait for your teacher to come up and say, "Do this." Practice it. Ask questions. This journey is yours. You need to have a guide. The teacher's your guide. But you know what? He's my training partner. He's my teacher 9 times out of 10 right now. After 45 years this year in the arts, that's my training partner. That's my coach. All right. So work on your empty hand stuff. Continue with the knife. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break here and set up. Then we're going to come back and continue on with some empty hand material. All right.